You know, as old Mason man was teaching me the power of sorcery, he was telling me about the power of witchcraft. I was witnessing this with my own eyes, the miracles. He taught me about the power I have. I used to go throughout life just swinging with my eyes closed and my head down. He taught me how to box in the spiritual realm. And as he taught me this, all of this power, how I could just go up and say some words, the power of suggestion, suggest the person, give me everything, man. I done it before. And as I was witnessing all of this power and seeing all of the people who could be victims of this, I asked the question. I said, who can we not touch? He looked at me and he said, remember I told you about the savants? I'm like, yeah. And he said, well, we can't touch them. We can't cast spells on them. We can't manipulate them. We can't pickpocket them. They are invisible to us. Savants. And I asked him, are you talking about, people with cerebral palsy, just all different types of deformities and stuff like that? And he said, no, specifically savants. And I said, what about the other people? Like, what about the other deformed children and stuff like that? And, God bless them, but what about them? And he said, a lot of those people, we could get those because they already sold. That's why a lot of them look like that, deformed, because the demon that's inside of their body actually looks like that. And that's the Rumpelstiltskin program that I made a video about that. It can go back 3 generations. So the great grandmother could have already sold her grandchildren, especially if the great grandmother did it, then the grandmother did it. And it's a bloodline thing. That's why you see it in a lot of different countries that worship a lot of other gods. If you ever pay attention to that, it's a lot of different deformities. Mason man put me up on game and I was able to see it. And he said, but the savants are a special type of people that's different. They're not in the Rumpelstiltskin program. You hear what I'm saying? Then he said, oh, I also asked him, what about, children, just little Johnny or Mike? And he was like, well, we can get into the kids. We can send spirits and different things like that. If their parents aren't married, they were born out of wedlock, or their parents is worshiping other gods and stuff like that instead of the Most High. Understand that Mason man knew that the Most High was the Most High. And he knew that he went astray, but it was too late. You hear what I'm saying? But he knew that the Most High was the Most High. That's one of the only reasons why I feel I kept him around so long, because I had money at that time and all of that. I could have just bought books and everything, but he always used to bring up the Most High and stuff in a lot of his conversations. So yeah, the children, you could get the children if the parents is living in sin. You can get those children. And then I was like, who else? And then he said the anointed. There's people out there who's anointed by the Most High, and they're here on a mission. like you. He said like me. And I was like, what you mean, like Christians? He said the real Christians. I'm like, yeah, like the TD Jakes, like I'm naming people. And he said, no, those aren't the Christians. Those are the ones who we make money off of. He said that when I get real high, I'm going to have a lot of customers that's from the church. You know, I couldn't believe it. I knew that it was something up with the church at this time of my life. You know, YouTube wasn't out and all of that type of stuff. So, you know, a lot of my information was guesses, but I was putting the pieces together. But I never knew until Mason Man told me that a lot of witchcraft and sorcery is performed in the church. And I'd be damned if he wasn't telling the truth. So he said, nah, just because you see a person that's saved and they take communion and they get baptized and stuff, that's not who he talking about. Nor is he talking about a person that's in a certain religion. He said some is in jail, some is in Thailand, some is in Africa, some is in Brazil, but it's a small number. And I'm the one that's in Long Beach. It's not a lot. It's not a lot of the chosen. We could look at all of these videos all day and hear people talk about, yeah, I'm the chosen, man. Hey, all of the chosen. But I'm here to tell you that the chosen out of 1,000 people, it still might not be a chosen one. It's so rare that you get an untouchable. You hear what I'm saying? That's what he called us, the untouchables. Only we can fall into the trap. They can only create roadblocks and traps for us. They can't come up and just kill us or put a curse on us or MK Ultra mind control us, demon possess us, or anything like that. But for the rest of the world, man, it's like sitting ducks. I said, what would happen if I do go against the code and try to manipulate a savant? And by the way, none of my children are savant or autistic or anything. So it's not like I'm saying this just to take up for somebody. This is real. And when he told me, okay, I felt it. But as I did research through my life, he's telling the truth. And I'm here to tell you that if you do try to manipulate, take the energy, belittle or anything a savant or one of these chosen ones, the real chosen ones, then the consequences can be death. I mean, you could literally be healthy on Monday and dead on Friday from a mysterious illness. You know, the Most High works in mysterious ways. He'll do whatever he wants. The possibilities are endless. You hear what I'm saying? Hey, I got a quick story for you. I got a quick story for you. I remember when I was younger, it was a savant that lived on our street. His family knew our family, good friends, still to this day, still communicate. You know, my sisters and his brothers and sisters all communicate. So the savant, he was real cool. We all used to like him and stuff like that. In another video, I said that he could balance things, like he could spin things, and it'll keep spinning. Like you know what I'm saying? There was some neighbors. We had some neighbors, and this woman was a butch, but she had kids, and she had a daughter, and she had three, one, two, three, four sons. a daughter and four sons, but she was a butch. She was in and out of the out of jail, right? So they moved on our street. She must have just got out the pen, and she looked it like it too. She had the short haircut. She was heavy set. She had the attitude that she was the queen bee. You could tell that inside of Silver Brand. I could never pronounce that women's prison, Silver Brand. Yeah, you could tell she was calling shots up in there, right? She was like a buff little female type butch with children. And one day we just hear some screaming because she's screaming because at this time she going up and down the neighborhood beating people up. You know, she big and bad, but she never came across my family, you know, but she did check a lot of families over there on our block. And so we hear some screaming and we look out the window and her son, he got the savant pinned up on the garage, and the mother, the butch, she was telling him to beat him, and she was like, beat him, hit him in the head, and the savant was scared, like petrified, like no, no, no. And my mother came out like, don't do that, don't, you know, are you crazy? What's And then they, you know, argued a little bit, and but the guy, her son, still was hitting him, right? And then it broke up and everything, you know, died down and all of that. And they moved about a month after that. And right after they moved, I'm talking about like probably 2 months after they moved, she got killed. Somebody came to the butch and killed her in some type of argument or something like that. I can picture her doing what she do and somebody did what they did. Now here's the crazy thing about it. Years later, my sister, she's working inside of this hospice type thing. She was a nurse. Well, she still is a nurse, but at this time, she was the nurse for this hospice. It was people that was, I guess, dying there, right? Of all types of things. So she looked on the chart and then she see this name that was familiar. So she went to the room to see who it was, and it was the butcher's son. Now, this is about 10 years later. It was the butcher's son, and he was up in there because he had full blown AIDS. He died by now. He was in there because he was dying. And she said she looked in the room and seen him, and he seen her, and he put his head down. She said he had a lot of complications and stuff throughout his stay and all of that type of stuff. So this is what Mason Man was talking about. I have other examples, but I don't even want to go down the karma that you would get for messing with certain people. And these people isn't big and buff. Well, I know I'm big and buff, but I'm talking about the average guy or woman. It don't have to be this person from the hood or this person from Yale College, or it could be who you least expect, man. You see, this is why the Bible tell us to entertain angels, man. Well, it say entertain people because you might be entertaining angels. It's in Hebrews. You go look it up. It's in Hebrews. It's early right now. It is 3:16 a.m. You can always tell when it's the a.m. because the freeway gets real slow. You see, you don't see that many cars. Yeah. Mason Man taught me a lot, but that was one of the ones that I am so glad that that I learned. Look, let me tell you something, right? One time, I admit, man, I admit, I got jealous before. I admit, I was green, man. I looked on the damn YouTube, and one of my homeboys, one of my best friends, was on YouTube, successful. He's still on YouTube to this day. And I'm proud of him too. And you know what I did? With my dumb ass, I trolled him. I trolled him from behind the scenes, man. My own friend. I did that. I did that, man. And I apologize too. I trolled my friend. And you know what happened to me? The most time. I did it 2 times. I did some stupid comment, and the Most High said, "That's your brother. Why would you do that? He's speaking my word. He's doing my work." And when I got on the computer again and I seen that he got an extra 2,000 subscribers, man, I hated some more. And the Most High said, "Man, you better be careful, man." I felt it. Because when I was typing it, I was nervous. You know you wrong when you nervous when you're doing it, man. I was nervous when I was doing it. I was a troll, man. I was one of the buff trolls. A buff troll. You feel me? The third time, man, I did the damn thing, and about an hour later, listen, an hour later, my whole back got a cramp. Then it went to my stomach and my chest, and I couldn't move. I was crying, man. I didn't know what the hell was happening to me. It didn't go away, man. I couldn't move. My girl was at work. She wasn't answering the phone. I had the children, man. This was some years ago. I had my children, man. I didn't know what to do but just lay on my damn back and cry. And you know what's the only thing that was going on in my mind? My brother. His video was replaying in my mind, right? So listen. I started repenting, like, "God, please, the blood of Jesus. Am I having a heart attack? What is happening in my back and my neck and my ankles and everything, man?" You hear what I'm saying? I was just praying so hard. I said, "God, I will never troll anybody. I'm going to just subscribe to everybody, to God." And I'm crying, man. I ain't lying. A lot of things don't make me cry, but I'm looking at my children, man. They sleep, and I'm thinking I'm about to die, man. Now all of a sudden it just started going away, and it's going away. It was like a feeling of doom, like I was finna die, and I never trolled again. See, I tried to go against the anointed. My brother is anointed, and he was given the word. That affected me so much that it was income tax season, just like now. It was income tax season. We got our income taxes, and I donated $250 to him. I was like, "Man, I'm paying my tithes to him." I ain't lying. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't be messing with people because you never know. Man, I'm telling you, you will mess around and you will be messing with this person and you will get in the car, man. And I don't even want to say it. Peace.